Every month we go over the steps, and I was asked to do step 1. Does anybody know what step 1 is? That's what's up. That's right. Step 1 reads, it doesn't say, you're welcome. She used to be an English teacher. I couldn't read that from up here. We admitted we were powerless over our addictions and compulsive behaviors, that our lives had become unmanageable. Has anybody's life in this room ever been unmanageable? That's right. It's my people. So when I realized that I can't, so steps 1, 2, and 3, I can't, he can, and he will if I let him. That's just the basic sum up. But I remember coming into my realization that I was powerless. You see, I thought that I had been on too much and done too much. There's absolutely no help for me. And those of you in the room who don't know me, a little bit backstory. I was addicted to everything. I think I still hold the record at rehab. I tested positive for all 36 drugs they tested me for. And I'm not giggling because I'm glorifying it. I'm giggling because I'm still standing on this stage talking to you all. Still blows me away a little. So I remember, so going back a little bit, I was on a $1,500 a day narcotic habit. I was doing them in every way that you can possibly fathom. So when I say that I know the feeling of powerlessness, I really know it. I didn't know that I knew it then, though. I didn't know it until I guess my realization was, well, when I was talking to Amy, when she first found out about me and my habits and everything that I was doing. And I was a bad person. God, I was terrible. I didn't realize how much the drugs had taken over. But the good news is there is somebody that can help you more than you could ever help yourself. And the Lord will take care of you in ways that will blow your mind if you just let him. God's got you. So step 1, I realized I was powerless over my addictions and my life had become unmanageable. And at the time when I was in rehab, my addict friends will understand this. We like to fast lane everything. Steps 1 through 12, it'll take me 30 minutes. So in rehab, they kept all the other steps away from us. They just gave us little sheets to work through, and I had never read the steps before. So step 1, I am powerless. You bet. Otherwise, I wouldn't be in California in rehab, would I? I would have done this in the comfy confines of Knoxville, Tennessee. So I remember thinking there's got to be more to this. I'm powerless. I agree, but who's there that's going to help me? You all? Rehab? Friends? What friends? I didn't have those. But I did. A lot. So I had to learn on my own before I got step number 2 handed to me a couple of days after reading step 1, that there is a power out there that can help you and restore you to sanity. And I wasn't new to knowing who God is. I had played the piano and in every church pretty much in Knoxville and some other states. I was a professional musician, for those of you who didn't know. So I've been to church. I've heard about God. I knew about God. I just didn't think he cared anymore. He wasn't the one that didn't care. I was. So I remember praying, and me and God have a very special relationship. He talks to me. He comes to me where I am because obviously I can't get to him. So he and I were talking. I was praying, and I remember saying, God, I need some help. I've got all this going on and everything, and I remember he was talking to me as much as I'm sitting here talking to you right now. I could almost hear his voice, and he said, Adam, stop. Just quit being a victim. And I was like, a victim? Well, I didn't do any of this to me. He did that. I said, I thought you were a loving God. He said, calm down, Adam. I'm saying this with love. You need to chill. We talk like that. We're close. So he said, stop being a victim and start being a victor. Because he reminded me, sorry, I hit the wrong button on my phone. He reminded me that Jesus did not give us a spirit of dread. He gave us a spirit of love, fearless love. And he can help you and me and everybody in this room get through anything if you just let him. So we're starting a new year, and I am begging you, let him. He's going to kill it for you. It's not always going to be easy, but if you trust in God, he will see you through. Proverbs 3 and 5 tell you that. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is about David and Goliath. Love the story. And one of my favorite things that stands out to me about David and Goliath is the part where it says David ran towards the Philistines. He ran towards the army that was against him. And if you've heard the story, David was about the size of Amy. And he was going up against a giant. But he ran towards that army because he knew something that the giant didn't know. And he was not running alone. The thing that separated David from Goliath was his heart and his heart for God. And he knew that God wasn't going to let him down. I love that story. Something about it. I've always loved underdog stories, probably because I was one. With the amount of drugs that were coursing through me when I went to rehab, I thought, well, there's my giant. So I'm asking you, what is your giant? What is your Goliath? Don't run from it. Get you a little Jesus and run towards it. So the time is now. It's a new year, right? We just celebrated a new year. It's time to go after your giants. Don't stay seated. We're going to be having Chip and Testimony Night pretty soon, and every one of us could use a good commitment chip. Every one of us. So when we ask you in a couple of weeks who wants a commitment chip, y'all better start running. I'm going to start firing them from the stage. You get a chip. You get it. And remember what you're fighting for. You're not fighting a losing battle. You've got friends. If you don't think so, I didn't think so. I'm a very outgoing person. God knows that I would sit here and talk to this pole if I thought it would listen to me. But if you think you're alone, you should look around this room. There's not a person in here that wouldn't stop what they're doing right now and start praying with you and loving on you. Don't go at it alone. You have a family, and that family is right here with you. So a lot of people that work for me, I have a newfound thing about being who I am, and that is I tell everyone, and I mean everyone, my story. I tell work people, I tell the people that work for me, I tell people that just met me that are fixing to hand me $50,000 to take care of something for them at work. I tell all this stuff because I want it out there. I'm not going to shy away from it. Yep, I was terrible. Let me tell you how God fixed me. Let me tell you about the train wreck that was cleaned up. And then I've had a lot of people ask me, how do you pray? How do you pray for that? I'm not good at praying. You don't have to be good at praying at all. Tell you what, tonight, when you're going to bed, if you're not good at praying, maybe you're the best at praying, you can still do this. Toss your car keys halfway under your bed So just before you leave, you got to be on your knees. And while you're there, go ahead and thank him for letting you be here today. This is coming from a man with a titanium left one, which is incidentally the one with the hole in the blue jeans. I got gussied up for y'all. Normally I come flying in here from work, and today I was off. So I was like, ripped up jeans it is. So one of the things that you are powerless over your addiction, and you realize that. What are you going to do with the information? Your addiction does not define you anymore. Once you make the discovery that you are powerless over whatever is bothering you, maybe it's depression, weight loss, pills and heroin, maybe it's anything. It doesn't just have to be those things. Whatever is troubling you, call it out. Call out your giant. Tell God you're powerless over it without him. And watch what he does. He'll floor you, I promise. So there's been a lot of people who talk to me and ask me if I'm an addict or a child of God or whatever, and I'm both. I am both. I'm always going to be a work in progress. I love the Lord. I cuss a little, but I love the Lord. He knows. He knows. I am getting that one tattooed, honey. But God loves us in a way that we're not used to, in a way that we don't even fathom or understand. So when the AA book or NA book or whatever book you're reading it from tells you that you're powerless over your addiction, go ahead and skip ahead to 2 and 3. It's not there. That's okay. That you were powerless over your addiction, that you are powerless over your addiction, but there's someone out there, God, that can restore you to sanity and help you and love on you. And he will if you let him. Okay? Don't stay in your seats any longer. Don't sit down and let Satan beat you to a pulp, because he will. He's been after you for a long time. Aren't you a little tired of him? It's a new year. We're going to get him. Guys and girls, the main thing I just want to leave you with is this. You may have been sulking and sitting and feeling all the emotions from whatever it is that is hindering you back. But that isn't here anymore. Not if you don't want it to be. You admit that you're powerless over your addiction and ask God into your heart. And just seriously, watch what happens. Give it 30 days. If you're not satisfied, we'll give you your money back. I say that about who I am and how I am, and that I am a child of God, and that I'm also a struggling addict who got clean 6 years ago in 27 days, by the way. Woo! Corey has one coming up too. How many years? 9 years this month. Woo! We're going to have a really good chip and testimony night in a couple of weeks. Y'all are going to get to see me lift Corey up in the air like it's Dirty Dancing. Guys, the thing is this. Don't fast track through the steps. Read the steps. Take your time. Learn about yourself. There are a lot of things about me that I didn't know. And I remember getting back from rehab, and Amy and I going on a little trip together and talking, and I came back with a newfound hope. I mean, I went into rehab 192 pounds. I left rehab 246 pounds. Still got it. I started eating and stopped snorting. Man, this rice is amazing. I have no doubt. She's got a picture in her phone that I despise. It's me wearing a suit, but underneath that suit, I've got like jogging pants on and sweatshirt, just trying to fill it out. It was awful. And I got back from rehab, and I'm like, nope, none of my clothes fit. But when we got together, she and I started talking, and I told her, I was like, you can ask me anything. Just know that I'm going to tell you. So someone who is standing up here that used to be a $1,500 a day drug addict, and used to be a collector for drug dealers, and used to be pretty much the worst thing around, in my opinion, I realized I was powerless. I found God, and he's never let me down. There is hope for you if you feel hopeless. Just heads up. You're not in too far or done too much, period. Trust me, I can tell you. God's going to come and meet you exactly where you are. So let him. Guys, I absolutely love everyone in this room. And you are our family. Don't forget it.